Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to it if it is your first time here. I am going to be basically giving you a rundown of all of my absolute favorite brushes. These are face brushes, eye brushes, everything. And this was requested a couple times actually when I was asking you guys for some video suggestions. So I got my hair cut. If you guys have not seen me in person and you haven't watched me since my last video, my hair is cut. I cut a lot off, probably like this much. So yeah, it's different. I mean, it's been like a month now, but it's still kind of fun and exciting and new. But yeah, also I'm wearing a shirt that says UFTA. If you are from Minnesota, you will appreciate. Also, if you know me in person, you know that I say UFTA a lot. So I had to get the shirt, obviously. Also, can we just quick talk about how glowy my skin looks today? Okay, girl, I see you. Okay, so this very first one is not a brush, actually. It is a sponge, but I think that this has completely changed the game as far as applying foundation and concealer goes. Really just any liquid products. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. Brindley popped in and wanted me to turn on the TV for her, of course. So anyways, as I was saying, my number one beauty suggestion when it comes to tools and brushes and stuff is a beauty sponge. So this is the Realtek. This is just like a little carrying case thing that I got with this one, with one of these one time. But this is the Real Techniques. I'm dropping things already. This is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. Looks like this. I use mine every single day, so it's obviously got foundation and stuff on it. But this is it damp, so it's much bigger than it is when you buy them dry, and these are around $5 at Walmart, Target, Ulta, wherever, pretty much anywhere that sells Real Techniques you can get this. TJ Maxx sometimes has them. But what you do with this is, if you've never used a sponge before, when it's dry, you put it underneath the water in the sink, soak it, squeeze it out, soak it, squeeze it out, soak it, squeeze it out a few times, squeeze all the extra water out, and then what I do, not necessary, but this is just what I do, I will grab then my shower towel and put that inside the towel and squeeze it again just to make sure that there's not any extra water dripping out of this. And then this is what I use to blend in my foundation and concealer. I'm sure that if you've watched any of my tutorials or anything, or my get ready with me's, that you've seen me use this sponge. Another one that I really like is from Eco Tools, and it's a greenish color, and it's a very similar shape to this one. Obviously there's a sponge by the brand Beauty Blender, which you can get at Sephora, but that's a $20 sponge, and to me it's not that great, and I don't want to spend $20 on a sponge that I'm gonna get dirty like this the first time I use it. So I really like these Real Technique ones, and then like I said, I got it one time with this case, which is kind of nice because obviously like I have foundation all over my hands now from touching this sponge. But when I'm done using it in the morning, when I'm done getting ready, I put it in here, and it has little holes in the case so it can still get dry and not, I mean, it's full of bacteria, but hopefully it's not as much, I'd like to think, I don't know. But it also doesn't get foundation all over my whole makeup area and my desk and everything. So, number one, beauty tool. If I use a liquid highlight, I will blend it in with this. So I typically use the flat side to just buff all over, do foundation, to do my under eyes. The pointed side is a side that I would use more so for a liquid highlighter, just because it's more precise. So I don't use liquid highlighters all that often, especially not in the winter time. But if I was going to, I would put some like on the back of my hand, grab it with like the tip of my sponge and put it where I wanted it, just so that it was more precise and not so like on my face, if that makes sense. Anyways, number one beauty tool. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. This is an absolute necessity for me. I do not do my makeup without a sponge, ever. Never. It's been years. So going in order of use, my next brush, and mind you, you don't have to get these brands by any means. These are just the ones that I happen to have. Some of these most of these I've bought, obviously. Some of them I've gotten in BoxyCharm boxes. Some of them I've gotten as gifts. Some of them I've had for like ever and ever and ever, so I don't even remember where I got them or who paid for them or whatever. But this is from the brand Royal and Langnickel, and you can get this at Walmart, which I'm pretty sure is where I bought this brush. This is their contour brush. So it's a smaller brush. Mine, again, these brushes are all gonna be dirty. I apologize in advance, but I use these every day, obviously, which is why I'm talking about them in this video. So they are going to be dirty, so I apologize about that. Anyways, this is the brush that I use to set my under eyes every single day. After I do concealer, I will pick up a loose powder. I will pick this up and kind of just dust off the extra a little bit. And this just seems to fit right underneath my eye really nicely and really set everything in place. Because if I don't set my concealer like immediately, I end up with crazy creasing underneath my eyes. I don't know if you can see some of like the fine lines that I have under here. Like, I'm only 25, but I have plenty of fine lines underneath my eyes. So I have to make sure that my concealer does not settle in those fine lines and make them look even worse than they already do. So that is what I love this brush for. I also set my eyelids because they will also get kind of weird and crease and stuff. So I will set my eyelids with this. I also like it to set the sides of my nose. So I'll go in and set like that on both sides of my nose. And then I also will set this crease right here in my chin. I don't know if you can tell. Makeup settles in there too. You gotta set that stuff in place. So, love this brush for that reason. Next brush is my favorite bronzer brush, and I kind of go back and forth between two different bronzing brushes, kind of depending on, I guess, my mood. I'm throwing everything, hold on. Good grief. So if I want a more kind of blown out, just all over bronze kind of look, I'd go for a bigger brush. This is from Morphe R2. You can literally barely even see any sort of name on here. But this is really big, but it, like I said, it's nice and diffused, and it really just gives me kind of a more all over warmth and bronze to my face. If I want a little bit more of a precise bronzer application or more of kind of like a bronze contour type of look, I'll use a brush like this. This one is also from Royal and Langnickel, same as that purple one. This is their pointed blush brush. Okay, while I'm on this topic, let me just bring this up. Just because a brush says that it is for something does not mean that you have to use it for that. Again, this says it's a blush brush, I use it for bronzer. This says it's a contour brush, and I use it for under eye powder. So don't let that like steer you away from using a brush for something. That's the great thing about makeup, is like you can put bronzer as eyeshadow. I do it almost every single day. I use bronzer as eyeshadow. You can use blush as eyeshadow. You can use lip gloss as a highlight. Like, I'm just saying, like, there are no rules. So anyways, I like this brush because, like I said, it's kind of more tapered. It fits really nice right in my cheekbone area. So yeah, I don't know, it's nice. The next brush I want to talk about doesn't have an exact use, I wouldn't say. This is from Sonia Kashuk, which is sold exclusively at Target, I believe. This is their 115 brush. It's a dual fiber brush. I don't know why I put my hair behind my ears. I never do that. That was weird. It's a dual fiber brush. So it's got the black bristles that go to here, and then these ones are longer. This is really good, and what I use this for is just kind of diffusing my bronzer and my blush. Like if I go a little bit too ham in my bronzer, I'll just take this, and I never put product on this brush. The only product that's on here is from me using it to blend. But literally just this morning on this side, my bronzer came too far down and it looked really kind of choppy. So I just took this brush clean and just kind of blended around the edges of my bronzer to kind of diffuse them more and just help them blend better into my face. And this is a really, really good brush for that. So I really like it for that reason, and I just threw that brush too. I love coffee. If you're wondering, it's a McDonald's coffee. This is their French vanilla iced latte. I usually just get a vanilla iced coffee. So you can get a large one, it's like this big, and it's like $1.90 or something. This is just a little bit sweeter, so yum. Okay, moving on to blush. My favorite way to apply blush is with an angled brush. This is like a tongue twister saying blush and talking about brushes. Whew. So this brush is from Wet n Wild. They have no names on them at all. But like I said, it's angled. Mine is filthy. What else is new, Ashlyn? Get it together. But I like this because I just feel like I can get a really good precise application because it's small, but it's also angled and kind of fits the way that my cheek goes. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really love blush, so I'm not worried about packing on the blush too hard. I mean, I've done it before. It's no secret that in high school, if I can find a picture, I will insert a picture right here, because in high school, I pretty much wore eyeliner, mascara, and then just blush. So, I mean, I've gotten better, obviously, but I just love blush anyways, so I feel like this packs it on nice, and it just works really well. It's my favorite blush brush to use. And you all know my favorite part of the face is the highlight, which if you're curious, today I am wearing Becca highlight in Opal. If any of you need a good beauty person to watch that is like phenomenal at makeup, she also is from Scotland, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, search up Jamie Genevieve. She's freaking flawless, and her favorite highlight ever to use is Opal from Becca, and so I had to buy it. And guess what? It's bomb. It's so pretty. Anyways, my favorite highlighter brush, which I know I've mentioned several times, is the Morphe 510 brush. This is a natural hair brush. Sorry to my vegan friends out there. But this brush is small and fluffy, and it just gives me a really nice diffused highlight. I use this everywhere that I highlight. I use it down my nose, the tip of my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, up above my eyebrows, on my cheeks, which I'm pretty sure I already said. But yeah, I just love this brush. I have different highlighting brushes that I like also, but this is the one that I find myself reaching for every single day, so I guess that makes it my favorite. So now moving on to eyes, I only have 4 eyeshadow brushes that I feel like any look that you would want to complete, you can easily do it with these 4 brushes and be good. I have a ton of eyeshadow brushes. If I could show you my brush collection, it's ridiculous. My bin is like this big probably, and it's full of brushes. Not just eye brushes, but just makeup brushes in general. Is that necessary? Absolutely not, but you know, it is what it is. Please don't judge me. But if you do not buy any other eye brushes, this is the one that I would suggest, and not even necessarily this one, but one that looks like this. This is the Morphe E23. Oh!
So, not exactly sure what happened, but I somehow just lost the remainder of my footage. I am going to link the brushes that I talked about. I had 3 eye brushes that I was going to talk about, that I did talk about and recorded, and now it's gone. But I will link those in the description below this video so you can check them out. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, obviously shoot me a message. I'm so sorry. Again, no idea what happened, but I am a complete newbie when it comes to this technology, so please forgive me. And I hope you will subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya!